Sarah had one rule about leaving her 130-pound cane Corso alone with her 8-month-old daughter. She didn't. Not because she didn't trust Caesar, because she didn't trust what the two of them would get up to without adult supervision. But one Thursday afternoon, she needed exactly 3 minutes to move the laundry. And what she came back to, she still can't talk about without tearing up. Sarah had one rule about leaving them alone together. She didn't. Not because she didn't trust Caesar. She trusted Caesar completely. It was more that she didn't trust what Caesar and Hazel would get up to without adult supervision. Because separately, they were fine. Together, they were a partnership with no respect for boundaries, no concept of personal space, and a shared enthusiasm for chaos that neither of them seemed to find exhausting. Caesar was 130 pounds of black cane Corso with amber eyes, cropped ears, and the kind of face that made strangers cross the street. He had been part of the family for 3 years, calm, steady, devoted in the quiet way that large dogs often are. He knew the house rules. He followed them, mostly. Hazel was 8 months old, approximately 18 pounds, and had recently discovered that her arms could reach things. This was, for everyone involved, a development. The first time Hazel grabbed Caesar's ear, he froze, completely, not in alarm, in the specific stillness of a creature recalibrating its expectations of the world. He turned his massive head slowly toward Sarah with an expression that said, clearly and without ambiguity, "Are you seeing this?" Sarah was seeing this. She was also trying not to laugh. He let Hazel hold his ear for 45 seconds before gently, carefully turning his head away. Then he walked to the other side of the room, lay down, and stared at the wall, a 130-pound dog processing an emotion. That was the beginning. By month 6, Caesar had developed what could only be described as opinions about Hazel's schedule. He knew when she woke up before the monitor made a sound. He'd be at the nursery door already sitting by the time Sarah got there. He knew she was hungry. He knew, somehow, when she was about to cry, and he would position himself near her bouncer with the preemptive energy of someone who had done the math and didn't like the answer. He also knew when she had food. This was important because Hazel, at 8 months old, had entered what Sarah privately called the sharing phase, a period in which every item she touched was immediately extended towards the nearest living creature as an offering. Crackers, banana pieces, teething rings, her own sock, everything became a gift. Caesar accepted every single one. Not aggressively, not quickly, he would lower his enormous head slowly, sniff whatever was being offered, and then accept it with the careful dignity of someone receiving an award. If it was food, he ate it. If it was a teething ring, he held it gently in his mouth for a moment before setting it down. If it was a sock, he carried it to his bed and kept it. Sarah found 7 of Hazel's socks in Caesar's bed over the course of 1 month. He was not apologetic about this. "I see you're still here, but haven't subscribed yet. Honestly, that breaks my heart a little. Hit subscribe now. You're gonna want to see where this goes." The face-to-face moment happened on a Tuesday morning. Hazel had been working on crawling for 2 weeks, a process involving a great deal of effort, very little forward motion, and an expression of intense personal frustration. Caesar had been watching this process with what could only be described as professional interest. He would lie nearby, chin on his paws, and observe, patient, attentive, waiting. The morning it clicked, Hazel got her knees under her, pushed forward, and moved 3 whole feet across the kitchen floor before sitting back down looking genuinely surprised at herself. Caesar lifted his head. Hazel looked at him. He was 4 feet away. She recalculated, got her knees under her again, She crawled the rest of the way to him and stopped with her face approximately 6 inches from his. 2 inches of baby, 130 pounds of cane Corso, nose to nose on the kitchen floor. Caesar didn't move, didn't flinch. He just looked at her. those amber eyes completely steady, while she stared back at him with the focused intensity of someone encountering something genuinely new. Then she reached out and put both hands on his face. Caesar closed his eyes. Sarah, watching from the doorway, didn't breathe for about 15 seconds. This is exactly the kind of moment that deserves to be seen. If something just happened in your chest, you already know what to do. Then came the 3 minutes. It was a Thursday afternoon. Hazel was on the kitchen floor with her toys. Caesar was on his bed nearby. Sarah needed to move laundry from the washer to the dryer, a task that takes, at most, 3 minutes. She looked at Caesar, she looked at Hazel, she made a decision she had been edging toward for weeks. She went to the laundry room. What she came back to, 2 minutes and 40 seconds later, stopped her in the doorway. Caesar had moved from his bed to the kitchen floor. He was lying flat, completely stretched out, his massive body curved slightly, and Hazel was asleep, not in her bouncer, not in her crib, against Caesar's side, her tiny fist wrapped around a fold of his skin, her cheek pressed into his ribs, completely and utterly out. Caesar looked up at Sarah. He didn't move. His expression said with great clarity, "I've got this. Go finish your laundry." Sarah stood in the doorway for a long moment. Then she took a photo. Then she sat down on the floor because her legs had stopped working properly. She finished the laundry later. That was 4 months ago. The rules have changed since then. Not because Caesar earned trust, he had that already, but because some things become impossible to deny once you've seen them. A 130-pound cane Corso lying perfectly still on a kitchen floor while an 8-month-old sleeps against his ribs is not a risk. It is not a danger. It is not the thing people warned Sarah about when she brought Caesar home. It is, simply, what it looks like when a dog decides someone is his to take care of. Caesar made that decision the day Hazel came home. He has been acting on it every day since, through every grabbed ear, every surrendered sock, every banana piece accepted with ceremonial gravity, and every morning spent sitting outside a nursery door before the monitor made a sound. He didn't need to be trained for this. He didn't need to be told. He just needed her to get within crawling distance. Some bonds don't need explaining. Some dogs just know. Has your dog ever surprised you with how gentle they are with your baby? Or does the size still make you nervous? Tell me in the comments.